Hello, everyone. It is Veterans Day today in the United States, and we will be celebrating today Clement Jones, who is the father of Brian Jones from Denton, Texas, one of our Loud Crowd members. Brian, thank you for sponsoring today's session, and we are going to look forward to honoring your father and all the veterans. Hello, my name is Samantha Ellendary. I'm a speech-language pathologist and the founder of Parkinson Voice Project. We are a nonprofit speech therapy clinic located in Richardson, Texas. This is a suburb of Dallas. Our mission is to help you and everyone with Parkinson's around the world to preserve your speech and your swallowing. I am here to help you get your home speak out exercises done, and I ask you to please spread the word. Let other people with Parkinson's know about these free sessions. Daily home practice is essential for maintaining speech and swallowing in Parkinson's. Like I mentioned, today is Veterans Day, and look at this wonderful picture. This is Clement Jones, the father of Brian Jones. Brian is sponsoring today's session in honor of his father. We're going to learn more about him during our reading session. Thank you, Brian. Let's all take a sip of water. I'm still drinking warm water. You can see that. I'm not drinking coffee. I already had my coffee today, but let's take a sip of water. The warm water just feels good when it's a little bit colder outside. The first speak out exercise is the warm-up. It's very important that you just don't go through the motions when you do these exercises. You're really thinking about it. Each exercise should be a little bit challenging. It shouldn't be too hard, but a little bit challenging. So if it's not, use more intent. Be more deliberate. Think about it more to make it more challenging. Let's lift our voice up and over. Here we go. May, me, my, mo, moo. All of our veterans know about being deliberate and intentional and focused. That's how we're going to be today. Ready? And every day. May, me, my, think about what you're doing. Throw the voice forward. Here we go. May, me, my, mo, moo. Look across your room. What do you see? Do you see a picture, a window, a television set? Throw your voice across the wall. You've got to work really hard. We're not yelling. We're projecting our voice forward. Ready? May, me, my, mo, moo. One more. Ready? With intent. May, me, my, mo, moo. So in the U.S., it's Veterans Day. If you're joining us from another country, do you have a day of the year where you celebrate and honor everyone who served in the armed forces? Tell us what that day is and tell us where you're from. And by the way, I really like for everybody to check in and chat. You can just say, Samantha's here. It's really good. All right, take a sip of water. At our clinic, we're keeping track of people who are practicing. So please just check in and say, I'm here. It's Mary here, or Mary from Dallas, or something like that. All right, second speak out exercise, the ah. I want you to deliberately open the mouth. Remember, Parkinson's makes the movement smaller, so sometimes you feel like you're opening your mouth wide and you're not. So, wide mouth, think about it, and project the ah out the window. Good, nice and strong. Strong, right? All right, do it again. Later on, I'm going to have you come up with some words that describe a soldier or a veteran or patriotic words. Strong would be one of those words. Let's do another ah. We're working hard. Let's do it again. I want you working at a 9, 10, or 11. I used to say 8 or 9. Now I say 9, 10, or 11. Work hard. One more ah. All right, we've done the warm-ups and the ahs. Now we're going to move on to the glides, but let's take a sip of water. Think about it as you grab your glass. I want you to hold on to it with intent. Put it up to your lips, being very mindful, and take a small sip of water. With Parkinson's, you have to become more mindful. Mindful is a good word. You have to become more aware of everything you're doing, especially everything that used to be automatic. So walking, talking, writing, picking up your glass, putting on your seatbelt. Use intent. It works. All right, the third speak out exercise, the glides. I want you to project an ah forward and then slowly glide up. Try to get as many little notes in there as you can. This might be the most important exercise you do in terms of swallowing. All right, so let's use a lot of intent. Stop. Notice how I don't let it trail off. At the end, it accelerates and you end out. Listen to me, I'll start high. I know it's hard. You've got to be confident. You can't be shy with these. Let's start high together. Ready? It gets stronger and it ends up in front of you. Let's do it again. Start high. Let's take a sip of water and we'll do a couple more. We're working hard. We're exercising our speech and swallowing muscles. Have you thought of some words that you think of when you think of a soldier, a veteran? Let's think of some words. All right. 2 more glides. With intent, throw the ah out steady, like you're throwing it across the room. So listen to me. Ah, so it's in front of you. Ready? Together. Stop. Good. Now make sure your mouth is open. We're going to do it one more time. Stop. Breathe. hopefully you are working with a Speak Out provider in your area. I'll ask Lena to post that link. If you do not have a provider in your area, let me just tell you that some speech pathologists since COVID have been able to offer teletherapy, therapy online. So if you see a therapist who lives in your state, but maybe they're not too close to your house, they might still be able to treat you. So call their clinic, find out if they offer teletherapy. Our system online may not be up to date because so many things changed with COVID. So maybe they weren't offering teletherapy before, but now they are. And just as an example, Parkinson Voice Project can now treat anyone who lives in the state of Texas. So no matter where you live in Texas, we can help you if you don't have a Speak Out provider near you. So call our clinic, all right? Sip of water if you haven't already done it. Again, today's session is being sponsored by Brian Jones. He is one of our Loud Crowd members who's been in our program a long time, several years, and he's dedicating today's session to his father, Clement Jones, and we'll learn more about him in a little bit. We're going to move on to the counting. We're going to count to 16. See that object across the room from you? I want you to throw the numbers across the room. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lots of intent. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. This is not easy. I know it's not. You can do it though. We're controlling it. We're using intent. We're projecting our voice forward. When we do that, we expand our lungs more. We work all the muscles more. Let's do it again, up and over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Nice and controlled. So this exercise re-coordinates your breath support for speech. Because to talk, you've got to take the air in, expand the lungs, contract the muscles, push the air up. The air hits the vocal folds and they start vibrating. And when people with Parkinson's don't receive speech therapy, what happens is they're taking really tiny breaths, just like tiny walking or tiny writing. They're taking tiny breaths. And when they take the tiny breaths, they take the air in and they try to push the air up. And next thing you know, the voice is like this. Could you even hear me? The voice is very soft and weak and breathy. It's the coordination of the breathing, okay? So this is what this exercise works on. Let's do it one more time. Throw the numbers across the room. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Good. Take a sip of water. We're going to move on to the reading. I already showed you one picture of Clement Jones, but I love this picture. So this is Brian's father. Actually, the baby is not Brian. That's his brother. But isn't that just a beautiful photo? Very nice. Brian, thank you for sponsoring today's session. How does it feel that you're helping 1,000 or more people with Parkinson's keep their voices strong? If any of you are also interested in sponsoring a session, you just go to our website. I'll have Lena post it, but you can go to our website. It's $250 to sponsor a session, and then you get to pick out the reading and the cognitive exercise. All right, we're going to move on to our reading. So we're going to learn more about Brian's father. And I think this is amazing. Let's read with intent. When we do the reading exercise for the Speak Out protocol, what we're trying to do is work vigorously. We're trying to work the respiratory muscles with the vocal folds, with the articulators. We're trying to coordinate the 3 systems because that can get messed up with Parkinson's. And we're trying to work them vigorously. So throw your voice across the wall. Ready? Clement Clem Jones served in the Air Force from 1948 to 1969. Do you see how I said 1969? And the words are going in front of me. Say that year with me. 1969. Do you see that? Again, 1969. Let's say 1948 to 1969. Ready? 1948 to 1969. Say it again. 1948 to 1969. Let's read the whole sentence again. Every word with intent. Here we go. Clement Clem Jones served in the Air Force from 1948 to 1969. Wow. Thank you for your service. I hope you're watching today. And thank you to all of our veterans for your service. Ready? Next sentence. Clem started his Air Force career as a machinist and then served in Japan during the Korean War. Say war with me. Make it go in front of you. Ready? War. I want you to say during the Korean War. Ready? During the Korean War. Now say the whole sentence. Clem started his Air Force career as a machinist and then served in Japan during the Korean War. If you served in the armed forces, what was your first job? Tell us what your first job was. All right, ready? Next one. Clem was stationed in Japan, England, Germany, Illinois, California, Mississippi, and Arizona. Oh my goodness. Let's read it again. Ready? Clem was stationed in Japan, England, Germany, Illinois, California, Mississippi, and Arizona. Let's take a sip of water, everyone. By the way, at the end of this session, the last 2 minutes, I'm going to show you a video. Many of you sent in photos of you in uniform. Wonderful photos, and so we're going to show the slideshow. We will end today's session with that slideshow, and then it will also be on Facebook. All right, next one. Ready? Clem finished his Air Force career at Webb Air Force Base in Big Spring. Let me do it again. Ready? Let's read again. Clem finished his Air Force career at Webb Air Force Base in Big Spring, Texas, where he still lives. Read it again, more intent. Clem finished his Air Force career at Webb Air Force Base in Big Spring, Texas, where he still lives. You might feel like you're almost yelling. That means that you're working hard. We're not going to yell. We're projecting our voice. Now we're going to read the first verse of the Air Force hymn. Everybody, let's read it with gusto. Here we go. Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here they come, zooming to meet our thunder. Atom boys, give her the gun. Down we dive, spouting our flame from under. Off with one hell of a roar. We live in fame or go down in flame. Hey, nothing will stop the U.S. Air Force. Now, if you're from the United States, I bet you wanted to start singing, didn't you? But we're not going to. This is a great way to practice speaking with intent. Take a song that you know very well, but don't let yourself sing. We did have a little rhythm in there. Let's do it again. Ready? Don't sing. We'll have a little rhythm, but not singing. Ready? To the wall. Off we go. Into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here they come, zooming to meet our thunder. Atom boys, give her the gun. Down we dive, spouting our flame from under. Off with one hell of a roar. We live in fame or go down in flame. Hey, nothing will stop the U.S. Air Force. Very good. All right, now we're going to move on to our cognitive exercise. Go ahead and take a sip of water. So we are taking the words in Clem's name. So his name is Clement, but he goes by Clem. So the letter C, this is a great cognitive exercise for everybody. You can take any word and then take the letters from the word. So we're taking the letter C from the name Clem. I want you to think of 3 words that start with the letter C. Go ahead. Here are 3 words we thought of. Let's say them together. Cat, cake, coat. I'm going to see if I can get this a little bit bigger. There you go. Now, if you want to make a word finding game more challenging, take the letter C. Can you think of any words that begin with the letter C that are about a soldier or a veteran? Or a patriotic word? What word do you think of that begins with the letter C? That is so much harder. But if the other word finding was too easy, this is how you do it. Say these words with me. Courage, commitment. Those are 2 great words for soldiers. All right, the letter L. Come up with any word, not related to Veterans Day. Any word that begins with the letter L. Say them with intent. All right, I say these with me. Love, laugh, like. Now, come up with words that have to do with Veterans Day or patriotism or soldiers that begin with the letter L. It's so much harder, isn't it? Here are 2 words. Loyal, leader. Say it with me. Loyal, leader. So I'm trying to give you ideas. So you take a word, you take the letters in the word, and you make up words. If you want to make it harder, be specific. So for the letter E, just come up with 3 words that start with the letter E. Say these with me. Elephant, ear, egg. Sorry, do it again. Elephant, egg, ear. Now, words that have to do with soldiers or veterans that start with the letter E. This is much harder. Say these words with me. Epic, excellent, exercise, energetic. The last one, the letter M. Any words that begin with the letter M. Go ahead. Say these with me. Monday, man, mop. Now, letters that have to do with soldiers, the armed forces, veterans, patriotism. Go ahead. So much harder. Ready? Let's say these together. Motivated, mission, magnetic. Okay, we're running out of time. Let's take a sip of water. We're going to do Dr. Boone's words, and then Brian picked out a special poem for our bonus reading, and we want to show you the veteran slideshow that Lena put together. We're only going to say each nonsense word twice, all right? To the wall, everybody. Gula ganga ga. Gula ganga ga. Next one. Kukamanguka. Kukamanguka. 2 more, 2 times each. Ready? Gangla. Gangla. And the last one. Kukla. Kukla. All right, you know what time it is? What time is it, everybody? What? Did it go on? Oh, there it is. All right, very good. We're going to read a poem that Brian Jones came up with. Thank you, Brian, for this. It's called High Flight by John Gillespie McGee. Everybody, we're going to read this with intent. It is more challenging. Here we go, everybody. Oh, I have slipped the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth. I know it's harder. Ready? Of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of, wheeled and soared and swung. High in the sunlit silence, hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Say that, footless. Footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue. I've topped the wind-swept heights with easy grace, where never lark or ever eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God. Say that last line with me with intent. Put out my hand and touch the face of God. Brian, Thank you for sponsoring today's session in honor of your father and in honor of all of our veterans. We really appreciate it. Now we're going to end the session with a special slideshow that combines the photos that you sent to us. Everybody enjoy this. I won't come back after the video. All right? Give me just a second, and we're going to watch it. Here we go.